I'm excited about this opportunity, excited to share, always excited to share this information with you, and look forward to jumping into it and getting started for this evening. So, as a business director, Ronald George tells you, my topic tonight is the ABCs of retirement savings. This is part two, and we're going to talk about how much should I save for retirement. And as stated earlier, I am business director at Eduardo Sprague and always excited about sharing this information. So let's jump right into it and get started. All right. So the amount of money you should save for retirement depends on several personal factors. But a widely used rule of thumb is that retirement is not an age, it is a dollar amount. And a lot of people are not aware that retirement is not an age, it is a dollar amount. And we're going to talk about that in depth this evening and really, well, it's kind of not in depth, we'll touch on it and get you an overview of looking at retirement from a different perspective. Society has indoctrinated us with the thought process that retirement is an age. You hear people talk about, oh, when I reach retirement age, I'm going to do the well. Retirement is not an age. It's a dollar amount. And we will soon understand that when you reach that dollar amount, you can retire when you want to retire versus waiting till you're a certain age to retire. So let's jump into it. Retirement isn't about age. It's about financial freedom. I'll say that again since it's in bold print. Retirement isn't about age. It's about financial freedom. It comes when you have enough money to support your lifestyle without working. So simple formula to look at is retirement equals dollar target, not birthday. So your retirement is equal to a dollar target and not your birthday. So not when you reach a certain age. And I'm going to keep re-emphasizing that over and over tonight so you can clearly understand how much you need to save for retirement and what retirement is. Think of retirement as the point where your investments / passive income is greater than your living expenses. So when you have enough money coming in, whether it be from investments or passive income, to where it is more than your living expenses, you can consider yourself retired because now you don't have to consider work as something you have to do in order to get your money to retire. So your investments / passive income, when it's greater than your living expenses, then you are at the point where you can consider yourself retired. So here's a rule of thumb that people use, the 25 times rule. You should aim to save 25 times your expected annual expenses in retirement. Now, this is based on another rule, the 4% rule, which assumes you can withdraw during retirement 4% of your savings annually with a high likelihood that your money will last for 30 years. So let's look at that. We take if your estimated annual retirement expenses is $60,000 a year, you multiply that by 25, 60,000 times 25 is 1.5 million. So you would need to have $60,000 per year coming in retirement 1.5 million saved. That's your needed annual, total savings that you need to produce that annual $60,000 a year. Suppose your basic expenses or your total retirement expenses were $100,000 per year. You wanted to live off $100,000 a year. Well, 100,000 times 25 is 2.5 million. So you would need $2.5 million saved to take out enough money to get $100,000 a year. So retirement savings is very critical once you look at it in the actuality or the reality of the numbers that you really need to save to look at it. But it's crucial to understand that it's just a dollar amount. If you save $1 million and you live off of the standard 4% that you could live off of, you live off of $40,000 a year. However, there are vehicles out there that you can get 8-9%, which could put you at an $80,000 a year for the same amount of money. So the key thing about your retirement savings is, number one, that you are saving. Number two, that you're saving in the right vehicle and that you're giving your money the time to grow. And number three, that when you withdraw it, you can, if not have a guaranteed issue, which there are some vehicles out there that offer guaranteed issue money in retirement, as well as guaranteed rate of return. So you can get more than the standard 4%. And I call it the standard 4% because typically that is what a lot of your financial planners and retirement specialists and all those guys that they talk about in retirement, taking out 4% of what your annual savings, what you had saved up for your annual income, so 4% a year, because based on the standard math and the standard way they look at it is that 4% will allow that retirement savings to last you at least 30 years. And basically they're telling you probably won't live more than 30 years in retirement. So let's see what affects these numbers. Several things affect this number that you need to save for retirement. And let me say this, everybody's number is different because these factors we're getting ready to go over, they are different for everybody. So what affects the number that you need to have saved for retirement? Number one is lifestyle. What type of lifestyle you want to live during retirement? Do you want to travel? Do you have hobbies? Do you own your home, or do you have home ownership? Because if you own your home, you still have to pay taxes and you still have to do maintenance. Do you own a car? Do you own multiple cars? You still have to pay maintenance on your cars and other things. So your lifestyle factors a whole lot in this number. A lot of people think that, if I got my house paid off and I got my car paid off, then I'm good. But you still have to factor in the other things, your travel, your hobbies, and other things that you may do that involve your lifestyle. Then retirement age factors in with this number. Retiring early increases how much you need. So whatever age you desire to retire at, or when you hit that financial number, then you retire. Well, if it's early, if say that you retire at 50, well, you're going to live longer in retirement than if you waited till 65. So you have to have more money saved in order to live and fit the lifestyle that you want to live. Health costs. These often rise with age. So a lot of times, if you don't stay healthy early, then as you get older, you start running into a lot of health expenses. So health costs factor in on this retirement number, and do you have enough money for the medications and the doctor bills that you may incur as you get older. And then the other thing to factor in on the positive side is other income. What affects this number is Social Security may affect the number. If you have a pension, it may affect the number. And if you have other income, rental income, it'll reduce what you have to save. All of these will reduce what you have to save if you have you factor in if you're getting Social Security, what you're going to get on a monthly basis. If you have a pension, and if that pension is going to pay you for the rest of your life, or how long it's going to pay you, you factor that in, and that could decrease that number, what you need. And then, of course, inflation. Over time, expenses typically rise and inflation typically kicks in. So you have to factor in that you have enough money to cover your lifestyle and everything else, factoring in inflation, because it may go up, and then as inflation rises, then the power of your dollar may decrease. So you have to make sure you have that in check and covered. Alternative quick rules. Here's the 80% rule. Plan to spend 80% of your pre-retirement income annually. So plan to spend 80% of your pre-retirement income annually. So when you start saving for retirement, and this is suggested by Fidelity, at age 30, let me say it like this, by age 30, because typically you start working at around, well, some people start working at 18, some people start working after college, and I'm talking about a full-time, job working daily versus, part-time when you're in college and things like that. So by age 30, you should have one time your salary saved. By age 40, you should have 3 times your salary saved. By age 50, you should have 6 times your salary saved. And by age 60, you should have 8 times your salary saved. And then if you retire at 67, you should have 10 times your salary saved. And these numbers are just numbers that are suggested to put you at a comfortable number to have saved up when you retire. And it would put you in a situation where you're pretty much at that 80% rule of spending the pre-retirement income. But you really have to focus on it and factor in your savings and really work diligently on your savings. So here's some tools you can use. Online, you have some retirement calculators. There's a FIRE calculator, Nerd Wallet, Vanguard. So you can go to these retirement calculators. The beauty of the retirement calculators is you can put in when you want to retire, and it'll show you the dollar amount you need to retire. So you can, or you can put in the dollar amount you need to work at, and it can tell you based on that dollar amount and some other factors, what age you can retire at with that amount of money and be successful. So retirement calculators can help you a bunch. Then budget planners to figure out your future expenses, because that's what you're going to base your retirement needs on, is your future expenses. And your future expenses may look a little different than your current expenses because, of course, hopefully your home is paid off, your car is paid off. So some of those big expenses that you didn't have before you retired or plan to retire, they are covered. And hopefully you've saved enough in the right vehicle so that your money can go well into your retirement years. And then investment planners to protect how fast your money will grow, or project how fast your money will grow. Investment planners can help you put your money in the right vehicle and help you save the money you need to save and grow it the way you need to grow it. One of the most exciting things to me about retirement, as I've gotten into being a retirement specialist, is that I think it's exciting to save and see your money grow and build your money up without spending it, knowing that that is your future. And I think if we can shift the mindsets, my goal is I try to shift the mindsets of young people that, hey, now is the time to save because you can definitely change your future by putting away the money you need to put away now. And then you can live the way you want to live in the future. But so many people live by the wrong thought process, which is live it up now while you're young. How many of y'all heard that before? Hey, do travel, live it up, do what you want to do now while you're young. Well, you can also do that after a few years of working and saving up money. You can reach a point where if you have the money saved, then you can live the way you want to live. Your lifestyle can be the way you want to live. Here's a thoughtful question for you to help you understand that retirement is not an age, it is a dollar amount. If you were given $5 million today, based on what you just learned about the 4% rule, or even taking out 8% of your money out of the 5 million, could you retire today? That's a thought-provoking question. I could be retired getting 8% of 5 million. I would be retired getting 8% of 5 million. So the opportunities are there, and they're tremendous for you to grow and reach retirement and get to where you want to get to financially, understanding that retirement is not an age, it is a dollar amount. And we just have to work on finding out what your number is, how much you need to save so that you can retire when you want to retire and live the lifestyle that you want to live. Thanks for allowing us to share this information with our community, and we're looking forward to seeing you again very soon. I'm Eduardo Sprague, Business Director. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.